Welcome to Seeing Scarlet. It is Shelby here with Tyler for our Monday recap episode of all things Texas Tech sports. No soccer game on Sunday, also no soccer game on Thursday, so we don't really have any soccer in this episode, which is sad for my little heart. But we have plenty of other sports, but we're going to go ahead and give them one quick plug. Be at John Walker on Sunday at 1 p.m. They will be back on September 14th on Sunday to play Utah State, which is a pretty big game. They still have some work to do to get their resume cleaned up and headed into Big 12, and that's their last non-conference game. So to get that win would be really big for them. So be out there for that. We'll talk more about that on the Thursday or Friday episode, whenever that one comes out. But today we have a lot of softball because it's back as far as we're concerned. Fall ball has started. We both were at the first game. We'll talk about that. Football recap and a little bit of volleyball. They also don't play till later in the week, so we'll do more on them in the Thursday or Friday episode too. But we'll talk about them too. And we have some big recruiting updates for both softball and women's basketball. Both have some big recruits in town this weekend, and softball had some big ones this past weekend. So that's what you're getting in this episode. Good stuff, as always. Thanks for watching. Follow, subscribe, drop a comment down there below. Say hey, say whatever. Say you love us, say you hate us. I don't really care. Just say something. Tyler, how's it going?
It's going. Super excited that football got that win. I mean, obviously it was an easy win. We didn't really expect anything less out of it. But I'm excited that we're finally going to start playing, we're going from, I guess, high school level team to Power 4, FBS-ish team. I don't know. No, they're not Power 4 anymore. I don't know.
Group of five. So to
Group of 5. Well, we'll give them that. But again, it should be another win this weekend, but at least the competition will just be a little bit cranked up a notch. And then, softball is back as far as we're concerned, as you said. I'm super excited. And guys, the pitching depth on this team is just insane. I was just mesmerized by the stats on the Jumbotron. I mean, you can now see the spin rate, the velocity. I mean, you can see all the miles per hour on that board during fall ball. It's the best thing ever. I geek out over it. We have exciting things that we'll get into later about it.
Yeah, I mean, let's just get into that right now. As far as I'm concerned, let's jump into softball first. So you can go for it. What were your main takeaways from the softball fall ball started up on Sunday? We both got to catch their inner squad, which is, I mean, basically top 25 matchup, as we said before.
Yeah. So first of all, I just think that we kind of got to see a little bit preview of the positions. Obviously, they're not set in stone yet, but it was sort of the things that we were expecting. As far as it was concerned on Team Red, it looked like Panel was at third base, replacing Bailey Lindemuth, who transferred to Georgia. Tony was still at shortstop. Mia Williams from Florida came over at second base. And then first base was just kind of flipping between KT, Kaylin Terry, and then also Lauren Allred. And then the outfield was just kind of a mix of everything. I think, honestly, when we look at the positions of catcher and outfield, those are going to probably be the most intriguing positions to see who wins that over. Outfield for red team, a lot of competition. Outfield for the red team, it was Logan, Jez Spearman, and then it was Lauren Allred at one point out there. So that was a little bit interesting combo to see. They all did good. They didn't really drop anything as far as I remember. And then catcher, they on red team, it was Jazzy Burns, and on the black team, it was Lagi Kuroga. Again, both of them, they looked really great. It's just going to be tough. These girls are going to have to split up for positions, and it's just really good to see that we have depth behind that. But it was definitely kind of good to see where everybody was going to fit. As far as the bats go, obviously, kind of like last year, we saw 2 near homers. And if it was in the spring, and we had that wind pushing the other direction, they would have been out of there. But I was on the edge of my seat hoping for it. But it does look like the bats will eventually get there. I mean, guys, it's September 8th, and we don't even play until February. We got some time to work on that.
One game. Yeah, no, the pitching was elite. It's the thing that you take away from that. But yeah, I mean, fall ball, they haven't played in a game in a while, so I'm not stressed. There's all Americans on this team, so they'll figure it out for sure.
Literally. And then, let's get right into the pitching. Guys, Kaylin Terry, she's going to be fun. She had 3 strikeouts in a row, and she struck out the last batter. Her most impressive stat, I think, was the spin rate. She was averaging anywhere from 1,400 to 1,800. I mean, to just like spin that ball. I mean, she was so fun to watch. And I mean, if you remember last year's team and sometimes the struggles that we had behind Nija in certain games, like just having that second, basically two ace pitchers already on the staff, and then you even have Sam Lincoln, and then you have Chloe, who's super solid. I mean, all four of them just really showed out, I thought, the other day. And I thought that was really promising to see. Sam had 3 strikeouts. Chloe also had 2 strikeouts and showed great stuff. Nija was Nija. And then the speed, while it wasn't super prevalent amongst all the pitchers towards the end when Nija wanted to get that game over with, she was starting to crank back up into that early 70 mile per hour mark. And she was like, all right, let's get home. And but other than that, yeah, pitching looks so great.
Yeah, I mean, it was fun to watch. I mean, we do have two aces. Caitlin Terry is an ace. I mean, you saw what she did against Team USA this summer. That's a top level player. She will be your ace next year, and they'll have, Sam or someone else behind her next year. But yeah, she was fun to watch her go to work out there. I think that was what I was most intrigued to go out there and see this early in the season, was just how she looked, and she looked really good. Those spin rates were insane. That's kind of what makes her who she is, especially from the left side. And I don't know if they always have that on the big board for practice or fall, but if you get to a game and they have it up there, definitely watch it. They have some advanced analytics. I really like when they showed the replay and they had the strikeout box.
We got a little box.
Because Sam Lincoln struck out someone, I can't remember who, when she was out there, and they showed the replay up there, and it was like a drop ball, and it was nasty. Everybody in the crowd when they showed the replay, because you can't tell as much watching it from behind, right. But when they showed the replay behind that view, from center field view, it was like, gee, at the last second, and they swung right over it. It was nasty. So, yeah, Sam looked good there. There's a lot of fun expectations around Sam Lincoln this year, to be that player, and obviously we know Chloe's that steady veteran, and she looked good too. She did what she did. I think she had a couple strikeouts, like you said, maybe allowed a few hits, but only allowed the one run that came across while she was out there, I think. And then no one else. I think it was the final score 1-0. Well, maybe
Yep, 1-0.
2 across. Yeah, so I think Logan Holloman had 2 hits. She was 2 for 3. Still the torpedo speed that she is. She's a hard one to get out when she puts it in play. Lauren Allred had a hit. Maya had a hit. Taylor Panel drove in the 1 run. Didn't count as a hit. It was a sacrifice, fielder's choice, I suppose. But she's the one that got the RBI in, which is what she does. She's an RBI machine. So not surprising there. Who else had hits? Mia Richards, the freshman, had a hit, which was good to see.
Good a hit.
Jackie Liz got a hit.
Yes.
She's kind of flown under the radar as one of the pickups, but I think she's going to end up being a really important player for this team in big spots and big moments. She looked really good out there at shortstop. For the black team, I believe she was the shortstop for that team.
Yes.
Hinson, the freshman, had a really good turn on a double play at second base.
She did.
Or was it Hinson? Yeah, it was Hinson.
Hinson.
Condi at third started a double play with Hinson. They combined on a double play late in the game. She's a freshman as well. There was all freshmen out there at one point for the black team on the infield, it felt like, besides Jackie. So, yeah, overall, just good stuff. It's 1 game in, but it's fun to watch the team look like a really good softball team. Really clean defense for the first game of the year. I think that's what I was most impressed with. Again, they haven't played softball in a while, and wasn't a single error, and there was a lot of really good plays. I mean, Haley Toney, bless. If y'all thought she was good last year, she's already, one fall ball game in, she was making some just sweet plays out there at shortstop. She made 1 play up the middle, spun around and threw it to first, and they called the girl out, and then they reviewed it.
That was so funny.
They overturned it, and that was kind of a funny moment on the field. And but I think she might have been out. We differ on that opinion. Tyler thinks she was.
I think she was safe.
But anyway, Tony looked really good. Yeah. So, and then Des Spearman played center field for the red team. I think she can fly. She covered a lot of ground. I think it was Maya.
She did.
And everyone's like, "Oh, that's in the gap." And then you looked up and Des was already there. It was like I was like, maybe that wasn't hit as hard as I thought it was. And then you looked where she was. I was like, no, she ran a long ways, but she just got there so fast. So there's a lot of speed in that outfield, and I agree the outfield's going to be a lot of competition there. Because then you had Alana Johnson and Maya Davis in the outfield on the other team. Like, what? Like, only 3 of them can be out there at the same time. So a lot of competition between Maya Davis, Des Spearman, Logan Holloman, Alana Johnson. I guess if Lauren Allred's going to get some time there, even Loggy could get some time there as well. I think that's about the outfield positions for... I think Mia Richards was in the outfield at some point in this game, too. So, yeah. that's where I'm in. A lot of competition. Y'all should go watch the games. There's a decent crowd there. Not really. There was a few people there, but they didn't really advertise it. So I'm not going to put that on you fans. But now you know. So if I don't see these crowds getting a little bigger as we move on towards fall ball, I'm going to start getting chirpy. The team didn't put the fall ball schedule out there until like Thursday of last week. So no one knew it was happening unless you were really paying attention. Now you know. Be there. If just for one, it's good softball. Ran into a fan of the show while we were there. He saw me in the concourse and came up and say hey and said that he watched the show. So, sir, I don't want to call out your name in case you didn't want it out there, but thanks for watching. He was just there watching. He brought his whole family. They were all having a good time. Be like him. I asked him, because usually when people do that, I'm like, oh, I assume that they're like a player parent. I was like, oh, which one of these is yours? Or are you related to someone? He's like, no, he's like, I just got really attached to this team last year and wanted to come watch them in fall. I was like, that's right. And I know a lot of people did. So get out there and watch them. Tuesday night, maybe tonight, depending on when you're watching this. Tuesday, September 9th, they play at 7. September 11th, they play at 7 on Thursday this week. And then again on Sunday at 1. Soccer's at Sunday at 1 as well. I know a lot of people will be there for that. That's understandable. That's what me and Tyler will be at the soccer game. But
Yes.
Tuesday and Thursday night, get out there, check them out. Soccer and softball are right by each other. You could hop back and forth, to be honest. Check them out at some point. If not just for yourself, for good softball, because of the recruiting aspect. They had some big ones there this week. Tyler, we told you, hinted at it a little bit last week. They had some big ones coming in. We'll just go full into who they were. They had 4 top 100 visitors in town this past weekend. Finley Williams, the number 3 overall player in the class of 2027. It's a pretty dang high recruit. I'll go out on a limb and say that could be the highest recruit in school history if we secure that. Or will it be? Hint, stay around for about 5 minutes. I'll have another one. Somehow there's someone higher than that coming in this weekend. But I believe her mom played at Texas Tech. So that is an angle that hopefully will help us, you would hope. But as you can imagine, she has everybody in the country that has space for her after her. She's an outfielder. She can hit for power. I was watching highlights of her. She's got speed. This one game, she hit a triple to the wall.
Wow.
Most people, it's a double, right? And then the next time she came up to at bat, she hit a home run off the scoreboard. I was like, all right, I see you. So yeah, she's really fun. She put out some fun TikToks if you're into TikTok. Go follow her on TikTok. She posted some stuff in her like Texas Tech uniform. She didn't commit, but it was her visit, so having fun with that. And then also in town, she's an outfielder. Did I say that? I don't remember if I said she's an outfielder. Probably can play it elsewhere, but I can see it. She can fly. She's pretty tall too. I'd say 6 foot or taller. Just guessing. Seeing her in person, maybe I just felt short, but. Morgan Maxwell was also their left-handed pitcher. Oh, Finley is from Melissa, Texas, by the way. She's a Texas girl. Morgan is from Clemens, North Carolina. She's made the long trip down. The number 16 overall player in the country and the top left-handed pitcher, I believe, in the class of 2027.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, she's good. You watch her stuff. She looks like a good pitcher. It's hard to find too much film on these players, but she's striking people out pretty well. We love left-handed pitchers around here. As y'all know, we have, what is it? 4 of the 5 pitchers we have on the roster this year are lefties, right? Everybody but Nidra. And so now we'll just add this girl in. Why not? But there is at least one right-handed pitcher that they're after, Hunter Quintel from Kingswood. She's number 92 in the country. She's a right-handed pitcher. And then you got to have someone to catch these pitchers right. Adrian Hutton goes by Lulu Hutton, I believe, is a catcher from Melissa, Texas. So she goes to the same high school as Finley Williams. She was in town as well, and she's the number 33 overall player in the country. So this weekend alone, they had number 3, number 16, number 33, and number 92 from the class of 2027. So they wouldn't play until 2028. But the class of 2026 for softball is pretty much already done for most people. There might be a few stragglers, but they committed, and those are already done. So they're on to the 2027 cycle. So that was who was here. And then this weekend, a girl by the name of Goose Hutchins is coming. She's the number 2 overall player in the country. And a lot of people that I've talked to since learning that she was coming last week have said that they think she should be the number 1 player in the country, like by far. And they think that perhaps by the time high school's over, like this time next year, she probably will be the #1 player in that class.
Wow. How exciting.
People say that she's the best hitter they've ever seen at that age. And she's a catcher. I think she can play elsewhere as well, but she's just a hitter. She's from Oklahoma, so the big bad OU, naturally, for multiple reasons, not just location, is a player in that recruitment. She was just on campus there this past weekend on her visit there. That's why she wasn't with this group. But she's coming to Texas Tech this weekend. So I know soccer's going on, but hey, if you want to go to softball, I won't hate you for it. She'll be out there, I assume, for the softball game. And then maybe we can get her, maybe she'll come back, or maybe she'll just commit on the spot. Someone of her caliber probably going to take her time, but hey, maybe we'll just win her over and they'll just drop. I saw something today that like over 50 players in the class of 2027 committed this past weekend, which is
holy cow, so early.
It's because this past weekend was the first official visit weekend. Like they were allowed to take official visits for the class of 2027, and 50 of them committed. So I think that's something to do with the new roster limits and rev share, and the spaces are limited now. And if someone's going to give you an offer, these kids are jumping at it, I think, to make sure they have somewhere to go and taking it. So maybe we'll get some commitments soon. Head on a swivel. I assume there might be some others in town this weekend as well with Goose. If we hear about those, we'll let you know next week, but that's the one I know of for sure. So just stay tuned on that. But yeah, softball's working. They will continue to be active in the portal, I'm sure. But they have a lot of people graduating, especially this senior class is pretty big this year, and then next year with juniors. So yeah, that class of 2027 will be like that new regime to take over after we win our first natty, maybe our first 2 natties, why not? And then they'll come in and carry on the legacy. So it's good to see us getting active in high school recruiting. We've had some good ones. I mentioned Mia Richards in this episode, who's a freshman in here now. She was, I think, in the top 50 or something of last year's Softball America class, and she's on campus now. But they're going after 2 of the top 3 in the nation, Tyler. That's what happens when you almost win the national championship, is you get that kind of attention on you. So we'll see.
Yeah, super exciting to just see the impact that Coach Glasgow has on Texas Tech and this program and all these players that are wanting to come play for us here. And I really have to commend that #2 freshman class that decided to stay with the coaching change and really kind of help build off of that culture, and then us using NIL to our advantage to really bring us up to the national stage. All these players, that's so great. 4 top 100 players visiting this weekend. We're probably going to even have more. And then, you're just looking at Goose Hutchins. My message to her would be like, it's only fair for her to come to Texas Tech because OU stole our Lubbock's own #1 basketball recruit. So now we get to steal the state of Oklahoma's probably projected #1 softball recruit over here. So that's just how it works. So Goose, you don't have a choice. You got to go to Tech. Sorry about that. That's how it works.
It's only fair.
Math checks out. Yep.
Of sports work.
Right.
Trust me, you're gonna have a lot more fun here. It's just true.
Oh yeah, you will. Yeah, I've been to OU. It's pretty boring. Just a bunch of brick walls.
Like that, except for my experience. So yeah, no. Come be a legend. There's a lot of faces on the wall at OU. Come be one of the first to have your face on the wall at Texas Tech would be my pitch to you, Goose. Be a part of the next dominant power in softball instead of just joining one that's already done something.
Exactly.
About being a part of a new regime instead of just continuing one, No shade either way, but Goose, I think you're too special to not go change history and be a part of Texas Tech.
Yeah, don't go to OU and reheat nachos. Just start a new dynasty. Get some new nachos. That's all I can say.
Nachos. Honestly, someone get Tyler on the recruiting team. You make new nachos. Don't reheat the nachos. Everybody loves nachos. They taste good either way, but fresh ones are a lot more fun.
Even better. Start a new dynasty.
Or continue it if that's when you get here. But
yes.
You could be the highest rated recruit in school history. And that only happens once, right? Especially if she's going to be #1 by the time she signs here. No one can ever take that away from you, Goose. You can tie somebody, but no one can ever take it away from you.
That is true.
We'll continue to.
All right. Yes.
We'll talk about her maybe next week after her visit, if we get any insight on how that went. But it seemed like the ones that were there on Sunday were having a ball, and based on their social media, they were having a good time on their visit. So
they were.
They did it up big. They gave them the football, basketball treatment on that recruiting trip. It seemed like they were doing all the lights and stuff. It's fancy. We like it. It is hype though when the pictures now. Oh my gosh, because they got the national runner-up trophy, the regional trophy, the super regional trophy, the Big 12 trophy. Didn't used to have that to use for recruiting pictures, but that's pretty hype to have that now. Helps
It
a little
is.
bit. Speaking of basketball, women's basketball, we'll have more on this on the Thursday or Friday episode later this week. But they have some big recruits in town this week as well. They have three official visitors on Thursday. They're actually three sisters. One of them is a top 100 player in the class of 2027, class of 2026 player in there as well, and then another one 2027. So, whole family of them coming on Thursday, and then they have a few unofficial visitors, including some local people, and another top 100 player coming on Saturday. We'll give you some more information on who, what, when, where, and why on Thursday as their visits get closer. And we'll post pictures and stuff as they share them, hopefully in their uniforms. But yeah, basketball is working as well. So keep your eye out for that here or elsewhere. We're probably the people that are going to share it with you. But yeah.
Yeah, basketball seemed like they were having fun.
Yeah, basketball is working as well. So they could be getting a class of 2026 commitment or two here soon. Head on a swivel.
That's exciting. Yeah. I mean, I see all the coaches, the new coaching staff guys. I mean, follow them. They're absolutely fine. Coach Katera and Coach Jada. I mean, they're all just having such a great time. I think they're just bringing a lot of positivity to this program and they're really loving the recruits. I mean, this morning, Coach Chappell was posting like, oh, it's just a special weekend this week for Lady Raider basketball. We have so many exciting visitors. I mean, if that doesn't get you hyped, she's posting that at 7 a.m. on her way to work in the car. I mean, like, guys, they are committed to putting out a great product on the floor. We've already seen a glimpse of that at the World Games this past year, but they're looking out for the future of Lady Raider basketball. So we're going to get back to where we used to be. I have full faith in that. And they're working really hard on the recruiting trail.
Yeah, they are. There's a new energy for sure around internally in that program. And I can't wait for them to show people that and maybe win some people over. And starts with recruiting, but then it starts with getting wins later in October, and we'll start talking about that team a lot more here in the next few weeks as they get back to official practice. But they're doing kind of the allowed September practices now, but fall practice is not too far away for basketball, so that content will be coming. But yeah, good for them. I hope they get some well-earned recruits committed here in the next couple weeks. Signing day is not too far away for the class of 2026s. Sometimes they drag it out into March. No comment. But most of them will sign in fall. And so I'm hoping that's what happens with the ones we're after. So they can all plan accordingly, however it goes. So yeah.
Yes.
That is softball recruiting and women's basketball recruiting updates. Moving into football, Tyler, pretty much the only sport that was going on this weekend. What were your thoughts from the game? I know we were both there in person. Utter domination, 48-0 in the first half. We've now outscored, what are they, 95-0 in the first half of games?
It's insane.
Are out there. That is pretty insane. So what were your overall thoughts from this game, if you had any?
Yeah. First, I think that, we were all questioning, is Graham Morton going to play? We knew he was going to start. We didn't know how much, but Morton did play the majority of the game. And then they asked Coach McGuire after, and he said, hey, our opponents are about to ramp up afterward, and we need him to get all the reps possible and to get in there and to really show that, we're still coming for all of them. We're still here to get all the wins. We're here to take this seriously. He's he didn't feel that it was necessary to sit him out because he felt 100%. And by golly, did Morton, you wouldn't even know that he had an injury. I mean, 18 completions, threw for 70% of them. He had 3 touchdowns, threw for 258 yards, 0 interceptions. I mean, what more could you ask for from our starting QB? Looking really great heading into Oregon State.
His timing was a little off, if we're being fair. He missed a couple beats, but he didn't get to practice a lot, and he said that in the postgame too. He didn't get a ton of practice time in, and that's kind of what he looked like to me. I don't stress about it too much. Just the timing. He had a couple of, maybe one touchdown that could have been. I think it was Terrence Carter where they just kind of underthrew him a little bit. But then 2 plays later, he threw a 40-yard bomb to Corey Aiken, right on target. So the thing there is against Kent State, you get that chance. Against Utah. Yes. You don't get that second chance if you miss it.
Right.
But that is why McGuire said, hey, we need to get these guys in rhythm and he was 100% to play, and it was fine. Yeah, Morton went into detail more on his injury in the post game, and he just said it was his calf. And it was kind of just weird, like it was just like tightness and soreness, and it was like right in his calf area. But he credited the medical staff and the facilities here. I mean, they have like a hyperbaric chamber and all this stuff. If you're gonna get better from an injury that to normal people is like, oh, that would take a couple of weeks at least. It takes him 4 days because he can go sleep in a hyperbaric chamber and, like an alien, be better the next day. So he gave a lot of credit to the medical team and the facilities, and he was back. And yeah, for someone that didn't practice a lot, for someone that didn't seem like maybe he would even be playing a few days before that, even if they knew he was going to. The public, it seemed like a little iffy. I thought he looked pretty good, for sure. My biggest takeaway is our defensive line. When they have those 4 starters out there in particular, which we haven't seen a ton together yet, and I guess that would be Lee Hunter, Skylar Gill-Howard in the middle, and on the outside, Romello Height and David Bailey. When those 4 have been out there together, there's not many teams that I think are going to be able to stop that for 4 quarters. And I'm not saying they will play every snap because we're out deep there, but every time those 4 people have been out there together, I swear we've gotten a turnover, a sack, or the quarterback's had to throw it away, or it was a really short run, if anything, gained. That's still my biggest takeaway of the season is I think Barron's solid. I think our offense is solid. I think Terrence Carter, still the president, secretary, CEO, treasurer of his fan club. He just drug some fools like 10 yards almost into the end zone on a 50-yard catch. Almost had another touchdown. Yeah, like he's a dude. Caleb Douglas is going to heat up. Eakin looks good. Reggie Virgil with 2 touchdowns. Running back, not overall dominant, but I think Jacoby Williams showed some things that he might be starting to get more touches as we get into true competition. Like I thought he looked like the most spry of the group. But the defense, I think the team will go as far as the defense takes them, specifically the front. The front 4, not even the front 7. Like the defensive line to me is where they have a true national championship caliber position group. Is right there. Other positions, they're getting there. But those are NFL players. And they're showing it. And I even looked at the PFF stats earlier. Do you want to guess where they rank in total defense and PFF stats, like analytics as a team? Not the defensive line, but like the whole team.
Let's go, I don't know, 87. I'm going to go 100.
Oh, I meant like...
Oh, sorry. Oh, okay. Like in teams in the country. Oh, okay. I thought you meant like their actual rating.
Yeah, their actual number, but it probably is around 87 or 90 something.
All right. I'm gonna go somewhere in the top 10.
Number 2.
There we go. Right there.
Minnesota. So that tells you like early in the season. Take it with a grain of salt. But Georgia's right up there. And you know where they rank in defensive run stopping potential, and meaning that really is looking at your D line for running. Number 1, Tyler, in the country.
I believe it.
Defensive rating right now. And that's in large part to those guys. Pass rush, they're up in the top 5. Every defensive metric, they're up there. Again, they're playing not very good people, but you saw the difference between the first half and the second half. I think Kent State might have been tied in the second half, 14-14. We weren't playing those guys in the second half, right?
Right.
That's Texas Tech of old. Like, hey, we can outscore people, but we might give up some scores because we just don't have those dudes. We have those dudes. And Skylar Gill-Howard's one of them. He's trying to be a friend of the show. Shout out Skylar. He said he wanted to come on the show. Maybe we'll make that happen down the line, Skylar. I'm sure you're listening now. So, yeah, well, he's welcome to come on the show anytime. But he had that pick 6. That was the moment of the game.
Which I have a bone to pick with Sports Center, because why did that not make the SC top 10 on Saturday night? But we're going to have Kent State's diving catch, which, yeah, the diving catch was cool, but like Kent State got blown out. You didn't include that insane pick 6 from the big man, but instead you're going to include Kent State's little puny diving catch. I mean, I don't understand.
They made a diving catch that made the Sports Center top 10?
Yes, it made number 9. I was
getting an experience with that part or something. When did they get that?
It was like in the 3rd or 4th quarter late, but yeah, it was how they got to 14. But I was like, really, that made Sports Center top 10. And maybe it's because our football account, I mean, heaven forbid, didn't put hashtag SC top 10 like Kent State did. But I think Kent State was just, I don't know what they were doing, trying to engagement for him, because that just made me mad. But yeah, Skylar, you got number 1 on SC on my Sports Center that night. Seen Scarlet Sports Center? Number one right there, because
Yeah,
that play
that's gonna
was
be
insane.
one of the plays of the season already happened. I just love that guy so much. I think we tweeted like last week. Tyler said, or Skylar said, that he didn't want to take his jersey off, and this week he just went.
Yes.
He just got an interception return, our king or something, and that's just how I feel about the guy. He's a Red Raider. He's only been here for this is his only year here, but he's like a Red Raider for life and just a good dude. So always pumping up the team beforehand. But shout out AJ Holmes. Shout out him. He's the one that tipped the ball. And then as Skyler said in the post game, he's like, "Yeah, AJ was getting good pressure." He's like, "I don't really know why the quarterback still threw it, but he did." And then AJ tipped it, and he just said, my receiver instincts kicked in," is what he said, "and I made a play on the ball, and he took off." Now, his running back instincts, I think, kicked in as well. Fun facts about Skyler: he was a middle school and a high school running back in his day. So,
Wow.
yeah, he's had an interesting journey. He walked on at like a D3 school, not in like having played other positions, and then worked his way up to Northern Illinois, and now he's one of the best defensive tackles in the country, playing for a team that's trying to win championships. So, yeah, that was my big takeaways from the game. Definitely things to clean up. We've had 4, I think, big returns now called back due to holding penalties. Joey said after the game he was pushing back on that a little bit. He agreed with 1 or 2 of the calls, but he thought some of them, that he said the guys are doing it exactly like we teach it. But maybe we need to teach it differently if they're going to throw a flag on it. I don't know. We'll have to see, because that's 2 games in a row they've thrown a flag against whatever we're being taught to do out there on special teams. So that's a concern. Short yardage with starters out there can't get a yard against Kent State was a little bit concerning. So that's something to watch. That wasn't a problem in game 1, but I do think Kent State would beat UAPB by like 40, if I'm being honest. I think that as bad as they were, they're that much better than UAPB. So, yeah, those are probably the biggest concerns. And then Morton definitely was off timing a little bit, but I'm giving him grace on that because practice. But yeah, what about you?
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. Penalties had to be cleaned up, but if that's how they're practicing it, or that's how it is in practice, and it's just going to be something that the officials are going to have to kind of decipher on game by game, then I guess that'll pass by. But yeah, I was a little bit concerned about short yardage, especially since McGuire's teams have really been known to be really aggressive on on 4th downs, if you will. A lot of times when it's that short, so not being able to convert that, it was a little bit concerning against Kent State. Hopefully they get that fixed. They were still able to score on that one, but it was a little bit depressing that we were on the 5-yard line. It took 4 downs to do it, but from Dickey. But hopefully all that gets cleaned up. They were out there, just running up the score the entire time. So some mistakes are going to happen. I think some of these are maybe a bit of a stretch this early in the season, but it's just some things to kind of just take note of, and hopefully it gets cleaned up.
Yeah, if they want to be the championship team they talk about, then you can't do this stuff. So
Correct.
it's that simple. Like, hey, you're playing really good football. Like, you're a good football team. But, like, do they want to be great? Which I know they do because they talk that way. Then, yeah, there's nothing wrong with pointing that stuff out because they're pointing it out themselves. It's
for sure.
So, yeah, they're going to have to clean up that stuff because you won't get away with that. You might get away with it against Oregon State. Probably not as much. But they're 0-2 coming into this because they lost to Cal, who is not great. And then they lost to Fresno State this past week.
Who they had a lead on and blew.
Yes, they blew it. So I know Joey talked a little bit about their quarterback. That they
came from Texas, right?
What?
Malik Wilson. I think their quarterback, Malik Wilson, came from Texas. I remember watching. So
and then
there's that.
Duke, most recently, before he's spent some time at Duke and had a pretty good career there, and then transferred. He's a good player. So when you have a quarterback as potentially your best player on a team, then if they are playing at their highest ability possible, they touch the ball every play on offense. So that matters, right? So you're going to have to be in on that. We did struggle with the quarterback run a little bit in this past game, by the way. So that was mostly in the second half, though, without starters. So that's a little concerning. We'll see if he takes advantage of that. But yeah, you got to play clean. But this is a good chance to show, like, okay, we can do what we've done against a true group of 5 opponents. Maybe we will play our starters a little bit longer as well and see what they can do into the third quarter and get that football shape up before they take on Utah. And I mean, Joey didn't shy away from that. He mentioned Oregon State too, but that's, like we said earlier, that's why they were playing some guys. They even put Dante Balfour into this game, who he only played a few snaps, but it's because they want him to be ready, and now he's starting cornerback for Oregon State. But he was a star of camp, and he got hurt late in camp, and we didn't see him to start the year. And I think if you didn't have Utah so quickly in the season, and maybe started with an easier opponent in Big 12 play, maybe they would have been safer with him against Kent State too, but they need him. And he's starting this weekend, so that's good to get him back out there. I think he's going to have a good season. But yeah, it's interesting. But they're definitely looking ahead to that Utah game, but also not looking past Oregon State. It's possible to do both, and I think they're trying to
For sure.
best of both worlds.
Luckily, this game is at home, so y'all be there and help push them to victory.
Game, right?
Yes, 2:30 game. So students, please show up, because I'm not gonna lie, I was a little disappointed that y'all decided to sleep in when you're watching our number 21 ranked football team. I mean, we haven't been ranked in a long time, and y'all just slept in. What a shame. But y'all need to be up for the 2:30 game.
Spoiled. You don't know what I had to sit through as you know what I would have done for a ranked team? We were ranked one year while I was a student, and then that year that we started 7-0 or 6-0 with Baker Mayfield as a walk-on quarterback, went to OU, got our butts kicked, and then just
Yeah.
memories. Yeah, we just were not good when I was in school at most sports, so y'all don't know how good you have it. Go out and enjoy every game. They don't play very often at home, and you can go sleep in the afternoon.
For sure.
This one's perfect timing though. 2:30 game. And then it was announced today, I believe we got the big noon kickoff game for Utah. That's up in Salt Lake City, though. It'll be a 10 a.m. local time start in Utah, which is crazy. 11 a.m. here, because they're getting it on big noon kickoff, which is Eastern time. So the highs and the lows of getting national exposure come with weird start times. Hopefully our team will be prepared for that. We'll talk about that next week. But that is football. Any other thoughts before we wrap this show up with a little volleyball and move on?
No, let's just go straight into volleyball.
Let's go. Yeah, so not a lot of volleyball talk because we recapped their games with Georgia and Duke on the Friday episode. They beat Duke, lost to Georgia, and then we said, hey, as you're probably watching this, they're going to be playing Alabama State, and we'll talk about how that went next week. So that's where we are. They took down Alabama State 3-1. First set, dropped it again. I told Tyler I've come to a compromise on his thing about this first set. He says there's a study out there that says the first set doesn't matter. And I get that, but I'm like, no, it matters. So my compromise is the first set matters, Tyler, but the second set matters more. Can we agree with that?
We can agree with that. Yes, I feel like that's good.
If you lose the first set, doesn't matter, just win the second set. If you win the first set, it doesn't really matter unless you win the second set, because then the other team ties it. So I think that's where I've come on this theory is yeah, it's not a big deal if you lose the first set, just win the second set. But losing the first set every time, I think, is a big deal. I don't know. I need someone that actually has the stats on that. Maybe it doesn't matter. But anyway, they did bounce back and win the second set and then swept them from there. And our depth and our talent just took over. So they hung with us for one set, and then we just did what we did from there. But did you have any standouts on that? Again, we couldn't watch this. It's not streamed. I'm not going to go on my rant again, but we couldn't watch it, so it's hard to have too many big takeaways, but we have stats.
Right. Yeah, we do have stats. Kenna McKenzie, the freshman from Waco, Texas, we've said her name quite a bit already on the show. Doing great. Led us in kills with 13. Reagan was right behind her with 12. And then Addie Knuff had 11. So 11, 12, and 13 kills. Very impressive from that group. Aces, Ashton Bellamy led us with 4. Reagan had 3. Emily Contreras had 3 as well. That's good to see that we're having aces, because this team does struggle a lot with service errors quite a bit. So good to see that maybe kind of get cleaned up after the first set. Blocks-wise, Aaliyah McDonald had 2. Jasmine Martin had 2. And then Addie Knuff also had 2. So shout out to all of them. Assists, Peyton Dunn did her thing. Had 45 assists in this match.
She's getting it.
Insane.
That's my...
She's
whatever.
She's volleyballing. I don't know. She's
balling. We'll just say balling.
She's balling. She's balling. Sierra Grizzle had 5 and Emily Contreras had 1. Looks like Emily Contreras has kind of snuck her way into these stats. Looks like she got some playing time in this game. And then Dig, Sierra Grizzle again did her thing, had 12. Ashlyn Bellamy had 10, and Reagan Angler had 8. So really, it just seems like Addie, Emily, and Reagan were really, and Sierra obviously kind of had their big moments in this game, kind of filling up all the stats across the board.
Yeah, definitely Reagan's in almost every single category, but it's
Yes,
not too surprising as our leader on the team. So, yeah, good stuff to see. They're headed to Northern Arizona for a tournament hosted by Northern Arizona and Flagstaff, Arizona. Starts up on Friday, so we'll do a little bit more of a preview in the next episode on that, but hopefully we'll get to watch at least one of those when they play Northern Arizona, who's the host team. But I'm holding out hope that Northern Arizona is going to come through and show the world that it's possible to stream all the games for the good of the sport,
for sure.
for the good of the athletes. Let's hope. Let's see. Do me a solid. We'll see if we get to watch them a little bit more. And then they will finally be home next weekend, right?
Yes, they'll finally be home.
18th or the 20th, September 20th. I think they finally will get to play a match in Lubbock. So hopefully y'all can get out and watch that. Make a little early plans now to take your family to some volleyball next week.
Yes, go support your volleyball team next weekend.
Town, all the things.
Like, yep. There's no other reason not to be there.
Soccer's out of town as well, so volleyball might be the only show in town next weekend. So early plans, put it in your calendar in your brain right now. But yeah, that's volleyball. Don't really have any other updates. That's all the sports that's really going on. I think cross country's starting up a little bit. They're doing their thing. But yeah, that's what I got. Any final thoughts for the people?
Yeah, y'all just go out, keep supporting all of our sports here. Go to the softball scrimmages, go to the football game. Yes. Get all that for softball. Show out to the football game on Saturday. Already plan ahead for your outfit. The east side, so the student side is white. And then the west side, the side with all the people that have the real seats and the donors, the home side, they wear red. Yes, they wear red. So it's going to be half red, half white. I think they changed it this year because the home people were complaining about wearing black last year in the heat. So finally compromised and they did red and white. So y'all just get that. Y'all figure out where you're sitting and get it planned for the Raider Power game. Make it look nice and do all that. And then Sunday, be there for soccer because that's going to be a huge game, revenge match against Utah State. We'll remind you again on Thursday, but buy the tickets now. The hottest ticket in town on Sunday.
Yeah, if we do not see you at John Walker on Sunday, you're going on a list.
Yeah, you better stay after the football game.
Who is and isn't there, and I have thoughts about you.
Yes, you better not plan on leaving Lubbock if you're going to the football game. You better not leave Lubbock until Sunday after 3:00 when that soccer game is done. All 60,000 of you better be there. I don't care if we break fire codes. Y'all be there.
y'all better try to be there.
Yes, try to be there.
He's like, imagine. He's like, we just need 2,000 people out here. Imagine how crazy that'll be at this because it's a smaller facility. We just need that many people to show up. I think they usually get at least 1,000, but when they can really fill it up in the.
It's so fun when it's super filled up. I mean, I remember that that Sweet 16 game where we had almost 3,000 there. I mean, guys,
that's what I'm saying.
So fun.
Every year this team is successful, and every year people are slow. I mean, there's the steady 1,000 that come every week. The true fans love this team. They understand it. And then every year there's people that are like, oh, this is fun. Oh, soccer's fun to go to. And then by the time you realize it, you've only gotten to go to 1 or 2 games because the season's over. Just remember, hey, last year I had fun there. Why don't I go to games from the beginning? Go to all of them. That was a fun time. It's allowed, Tyler. It's allowed. You don't got to.
It is. It's allowed. Yes.
So
yes.
We'll have a ball
for sure.
Hopefully, Raider Riot shows up. They did a good job in their first official appearance.
Yeah. We'll have an official banner on Sunday to show students where they'll sit. It's a really nice banner. So you'll see it. It'll say Raider Riot and it'll say Protect Fort Walker underneath. It looks really cool. So yeah, y'all know where to sit this time.
Can't wait to take a picture of that. And I also am going to put in a request for those smoke things that y'all had at football to make their way to Walker at some game.
Okay, we're working on it. We'll sneak them in. No, we'll just sneak them in.
That's a soccer thing that football has taken. Let's be honest. That's a European soccer thing. So why don't we just bring that to actual soccer?
Let's do it.
All right, rant over. All right. See you guys multiple times at softball. Come say hey if you see either of us there. Definitely we'll be out at soccer on Sunday, and we'll both be at the football game. You won't see me because I'll be up in the press box probably, but maybe you'll see Tyler. He's running around on the field. Say hey.
Yes.
All right. Like, subscribe, tell your friends. Appreciate it. We'll see you next time.
Wreck 'em.